Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Barak. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rava Chadash. Now, it's just going to be a small class today. Just a really quick one. I don't know why this is on my spirit to do this, so I'm going to do it. It's why do we go out and teach? I mean, why do we do it? Like the whole process. You got a guy reading, you got a guy breaking down the scriptures. You're going out in 2s and 3s and 4s. What are we doing? Let's see. Let's get right into it. Let's go to the book of Exodus. And we're going to start at chapter 7. And we're going to read verse 1 and 2. Exodus chapter 7, starting from the top. And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. So Moses is telling Aaron what to say because he's playing the role of a god. So when the Pharaoh looks at him, if the Pharaoh physically is shook, he literally sees Moses as a god. And Moses, what he does is he tells Aaron what to say. And then Aaron says what Moses tells him what to say. When you're out in the streets, you have a teacher and a reader. The teacher is taking on the role of Moses. And the reader is taking on the role of Aaron. Because Moses is going to tell Aaron what to say. So the street preacher, he is going to tell the reader what to read, and then he's going to break it down. So, with that being said, let's read verse 2. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. So Moses is getting a message from the Most High. Give me this precept, give me that precept, give me this precept. And he's sending that message to Aaron, telling Aaron, okay, do this, do that, do this. And then Aaron's going out going, okay, I'm saying this, I'm saying that, I'm saying this, because the Most High told him to. And what did the Most High tell Moses to command Aaron? He says, command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. All right, let's move on. So now we know that that when you're out there with the street preachers, they're actually taking on the role of Moses and Aaron. I'm showing you that right there. Okay, but let's move forward a little bit. Let's go to the book of Numbers. Chapter 11. We're going to start at verse 16. This is Numbers, chapter 11, starting at verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. So he's saying, gather up the elders. I'm going to have them stand with you. Verse 17, and I will come down and I will talk with thee, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and put it upon them. So the 70 elders have the same spirit as Moses to prophesy and teach the children of Israel. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. So Moses has been given 70 elders to bear the burden with him. And that's to go out and teach the children and execute the laws, the statutes within the laws, and the direct commands. Let's move on. Let's jump up to verse 24. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them around about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. I'm going to keep going a little though. I'm going to keep going just for a second. Verse 26. Because you know that we prophesied. I got some precepts for verse 25, but I want to read a little bit more. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other was Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of the men that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle. They prophesied in the camp. So 2 men stayed behind and prophesied in the camp. And the point I wanted to get by reading 26 is to show you that they were going out in 2s. We'll get to that in a minute. But I wanted to show you this because they were going out in 2s, and we'll come and get a prophecy on that in a minute. But for right now, let's go back to verse 25 and read that again. And the Lord came down in a cloud and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. Let's get I want to just get this out on, this is 1 Samuel 11 and 2, because it said the Lord came down and put the Spirit on them, and put that same, maybe it's 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel, sorry about that, I knew it. 2 Samuel 11 and 2. No, that's not it. Oh, sorry. 1 Samuel. Sorry about that, guys. It's 1 Samuel. Sorry about that. Looking at one chapter and then different. But anyway, 1 Samuel chapter 10 in verse 6. Because what we were talking about was Numbers, and I got to read it again, verse 25. I'm going to read 24 and 25 again, and then I'm going to jump back over to 1 Samuel. And Moses went out and told the people the word of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and sent them around about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. Now when you jump over to 1 Samuel 10 and 6, and the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee. All right, when you're a prophet, and you've been chosen to prophesy, and the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man. So one of the reasons why we're going out there to teach is so we can wake up the other prophets. There's one of them. We got one out of the way. Now I'm gonna try and find a few more PowerPoints. But and the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them. Who? The elders. Who? Moses. Who? Aaron. Who? The children of Israel. The 144,000 hopeful elect. And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shalt be turned into another man. Yeah, a prophet. But let me keep going. Let me jump over to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 11. And we're going to start at verse 2. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him. So let's start over. And the Spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him. The Spirit of wisdom and understanding, and the Spirit of counsel and might. The Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. The Spirit of the fear of the Lord. That's what's going to be put on you when you have been called to teach and prophesy. Let me read it again. And the Spirit of Yahweh rested upon him. The Spirit of wisdom and understanding. The Spirit of counsel and might. The Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh. That is what is going to be on you when you've been called to teach. So, and also it's a good thing to know what are they teaching? Well, they're teaching wisdom, understanding, counsel, and knowledge. That's what they're teaching. That's what we're teaching. Let's jump over to the book of Luke, because why are we teaching? Why are we doing all this? Why would we do this? Let's go to the book of Luke, and we're going to go to chapter 10. We're going to start from the top. After these things, Yahweh appointed after these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before the face into every city and place whither he himself would come. So let's go back over to Numbers, because that's where this is coming from. And let's go ahead and read verses 26 and 27 again. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of one was Elad, and the name of the other was Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out into the tabernacles. And they prophesied in the camp. So, the reason why I wanted to share that with you, because I wanted to show you that even back then they were actually going out in twos. So when it's happening all over again in the book of Luke, it's going to be the same way. In fact, let's go to the book of Luke and find out why. Why are we out here on these highways and hedges? Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 10, and we're going to start at, we're going to read book of Luke, chapter 10, from the top. After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 by 2 before the face into every city and every place, whither he himself would come. So we've been sent out 2 by 2s from the beginning of time, and we do it to this day. So when you're dealing with the elders from Great Millstone, you'll notice that their camps, when they have the when they're doing camp, there's rarely more than 3 or 4 people on a camera. Very rare to see that. They usually go out in 2s to about 4 people. And I'm not saying there isn't a bunch of other people behind the camera, but I know in front of the camera they kind of keep it traditional, and we're actually instructed to do that. We're about to go out to the highways and the hedges and preach the word. But let's read Luke 10 and 1 again. After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent 2 by 2 before his face into every city and every place, whither he himself would come. So he sent them out 2 by 2s, and it said that before his face into every city and place, whither he himself would come. So watch this. Let's go to Matthew. Whether he himself would come. So let me show you. He's going to show up. If they're there, he's there. Let's prove that. Matthew chapter 18. We're going to start at verse 19. And I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they should ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So like I said, he gathers us up into 2s, sometimes 3s, but when we're gathered together in 2s and that third person also walks up, he's already in the midst of his people. He's there with the prophets. He's helping them along. He's helping put the words into our mouth so we can smoothly tell you what needs to be said. So with that being said, let's jump over to the book of Leviticus, because we got to get the law out and find out, is there a law? Is there a law about this? To go out and preach to your brothers and your sisters, the Akiyam, Wa Akwa. Let's see. Leviticus 19 and 17. Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. So we're trying to put correction on our brothers so they won't be in sin when Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai returns to destroy this place. We're trying to gather up as many of the sheep as we can. That's what's going on here. We don't hate our brothers in our heart. We love our brothers. That's why we would rebuke him to not suffer sin upon our brothers. Let's keep going. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Because I was doing this class with my kids this morning, and I really just had to bring this out. Ezekiel 3 and starting at 18. Remember this also, why we're bringing out this word, because it shows that we love our brother if we rebuke. Right? Look, well, right. That's absolutely right. I don't need somebody to tell me. I know that's right. So, let's go to Ezekiel 3 and 18. When I say unto you, the wicked shall surely die, and thou givest him not warning when you don't say anything, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So, in other words, if you don't cry aloud and spare not, and raise up thy voice like a trumpet, and show thy people their transgressions, you will have when they die, it's your fault. When they die, it's your fault. Raise up thy voice like a trumpet. Show thy people their transgressions. Let's keep going. Let's keep going on Ezekiel. So, you know that if you don't say anything, it's kind of your fault for not trying to help them. In fact, it is your fault, and their blood, but his blood will I require at thine hand. It's your fault that he died. Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, if you tell them, hey, you're doing some wrong, I'm raising up my voice like a trumpet, I'm crying aloud and sparing not your feelings, and I'm letting you know that you're a transgressor of God's law. That's who we're talking about right now. Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. So, in other words, if you said something and they didn't listen to you and went about doing their wickedness, it's not your fault. You saw them doing wrong, you said something, they refused to listen. Now their blood is no longer on your hands. Let's jump over to the book of Amos. I'll work my way right down this Bible today. Book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate, because remember, you said something, but they went about their wickedness, right? This is Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So, even though we know this, we know that you guys aren't going to like us for saying this stuff because you hate the truth. See, it's really easy to be like, for example, it's very easy to be a Christian because Christians say that the laws are done away with. Therefore, they have no responsibility for their actions because there is no law. But if they hear that the laws haven't been done away with, as a good Christian, they would have to fall into suit. So to go into denial immediately means that they still can do whatever they want, and in their mind, they're still going to heaven. But guess what? You're not. You're going to burn in hell, and you're wicked. And that's what we're doing as prophets, trying to set you apart, to make a sever between you and wickedness. You need to separate yourself from wickedness. This is another reason why we are out teaching. Let me read it again. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate daily. I'm sorry. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So when you hear the truth, you go into denial, you start justifying, you say, oh, well, that's your thought. So what do? We show you the precepts. We show you the Hebrew. We prove what we're saying, and what do? You redirect. Oh, well, what about over here? What about over there? Do you have a tattoo? You know what? What does that have to do with what we're talking about is the point. Every time you're dealing with people like Christians, that's what they do. They hear their wickedness, and they go into complete denial because they know right away that if they accept what you're saying, they're going to have to fall in line. They can't, though. The Most High didn't choose them for that, so they have to do what they do and go through their motions. I'm going to bring out one more verse, and then we're going to close it out here. This is just a little short class, so Most High willing, it was edifying. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians Chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So there you go. My example of the Christians, you refuse to receive the love of the truth. Because if you did, you would follow the instructions. The word Torah means instruction. Instruction. You have to follow instructions. So when you're looking at a GPS and it says, take a left in 500 yards, take a left in 300 yards, take a left in 100 feet, and then it says take a left. What do? You take a left. You follow the instructions. Because if you want to get from point A to point B, and you don't know how to get to point B, you tap into your GPS system and you follow the instructions and you get to your destination. The Torah, the word Torah means instruction. If you follow these instructions, you will get to the destination that the book speaks of. But wait, that's right, you guys don't listen. So let's go back to 2 Thessalonians, because you won't receive the love of the truth. So let's go back to 2 Thessalonians and go back to verse 10 again. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. This is why you guys justify so quick. You love the lie. You love the lie so much you believe it over the truth. Even when you know 2 plus 2 is 4, well, Common Core doesn't say that, does it? 2 plus 2 can mean anything depending on the explanation. So, let me read one more. You guys love lies, you love the delusion, and the Most High makes it even stronger for you so you can really just get in there and enjoy it. But, let's go ahead and read one more. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So, why do we go out and teach? We go out for the truth. We go out to wake up our people. We know that they hate us for rebuking in the gates. We know they hate us for speaking uprightly. We know it's foolishness because the Most High can just wake them up. But He wants to see our works. He wants us to show our faith. So when we go into the kingdom, we proved ourselves. That's why it says, if you find a friend, prove him first. If you want to be a friend of the Most High, He is going to have to prove you first. So, get off your lazy ass, get out in the highways and the hedges, and go preach to the land. And with that being said, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rawachadash. Double honors to all the prophets, the elders, the disciples, and the apostles. And Most High willing, you guys were edified with this lesson. And like I always say, if you have eyes to see, if you have ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this lesson. Shalom.